guys, a long time no see. I've been kind of really busy lately, so I haven't been able to post my reviews in like a timely fashion, so I'm going to do a little bit of a catch-up video, and we're going to do the last 2 episodes in one review, and hopefully it'll be nice and quick. And I'm kind of really lucky that it's these 2 episodes because, like, in my opinion, they're both really good episodes, so there's not a lot of complaining, but neither of them are like really big episodes, so there's not a lot of like discussion points to go over. So first up, we have Season 10, Episode 16, titled Detour, which is our Palmer Ducky episode. So in this episode, Paloma 2.0, as I'm going to call her, and 2 of her cohorts abduct Ducky and Palmer and force them to perform an autopsy under duress. So Palmer and Ducky figure out that, obviously, once the bad guys get what they want, they're going to kill them. So they have to hatch a brilliant escape plan. I loved it. I loved it so much, using the dead body as a weapon. It was so great. Seeing Brian and David take the wheel for this episode was amazing, and I think, we need to see episodes like this with, them sort of having their own adventure. Like, we need it more often. We need like 1 a season, maybe like 2 a season. I just don't know. I need more of like that relationship in my life. My favorite moments for this episode were probably Ducky calling Jimmy his name instead of Mr. Palmer. I had a moment of like, aww. The whole like prestiging 6 times thing, especially when like Ducky's like pretending that Palmer and him have like separated, and then he's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Palmer, that is quite a qualification. Like that, I lulled so hard. And then also when Jimmy like kills the guy and like empties the entire like magazine and whatever, and the guy doesn't even die, and it's just, they have the whole moment and the guy just gets back up. Like, that was great. And also the capture of Paloma 2.0 at the gym, like in the end of the episode, like that was great. So I'm gonna give this episode 4 out of 5 calf cows. I really, really love this episode. My only complaint is that I didn't quite feel that like Ducky and Palmer were in danger. I mean, they were, but like I just didn't feel it. Like, I didn't feel like that like edge of my seat, like anxiety over like, were they gonna be okay? Even though on like some level, yeah, I know they're not gonna kill them off in this episode, contracts and blah blah blah, but like, I didn't feel like that worried for them. Does that make sense? But I just wasn't scared during the episode, and I wanted to be more scared. Sorry if that's like weird criticism, but that's just how I feel. So next up is episode 17, titled Prime Suspect. So this episode is a perfect example of how to blend 2 cases together. Even though these cases weren't actually related, they blended together really well. None of the plots in this episode, for me, felt particularly overdone or underused. The Denozo Dorney adventure was like the fun part of this episode, and I love seeing Matt Jones again. He's so great. Love Dorning it. It's no secret. And also we got to see a bit of probing, something that we haven't really had a lot of in the last few seasons, so it was great to have that kind of relationship of like Tony and the probie again, so yay. My favorite parts of this case were probably when the girl mistook them for partners, and then there's that moment of like, oh, does she know that they're like federal agents? But no, she thinks they're partners, and like that was so funny. And like Dornick just like waves with like the suntan lotion in the hat. Oh, it's great. I would though have loved to have seen like Tony explaining to the girl like what his relationship was to Dornick. Like, are they like cousins? Like, why are they hanging out? Are they just friends? Because they seem like weirdly balanced. But alas, we didn't get to see that, but it's okay. I'll live. And I also loved the epic tackle on the beach. That was great. Gotta love a good tackle. So the A story for this episode is the Dead Rose Killer. I love a good serial killer episode. Anything that gives me, Criminal Minds vibes, I'm totally on board with. I also really loved Ramsey. I would love to see him again. I think we need Ramsey and the detective guy. They need to come back for another episode because I thought they were really great. What I also loved about this case is that instead of somebody coming to Gibbs and being like, hey, I need you to prove somebody innocent, it's somebody coming to Gibbs and being like, hey, I think my son is a serial killer, and if you could like check that out for me, that'd be awesome. I thought that was an interesting sort of way of approaching it. And was I the only one who thought for, a second that the son might have done it? Because, when Ziva was like talking with him and, he wasn't responding. I mean, if Ziva flirts with you and you don't go for it, you're either like not breathing, gay, or serial killer. It's gotta be one of the 3. And, I'm probably voicing the unpopular opinion here, but I would not have minded if that guy never spoke to his father again. Or at least for a while. Like, I think he deserves to be a little bit upset. So anyway, I'm gonna give this episode another 4 out of 5. These 2 episodes are just really good examples of like solid, well-rounded NCIS episodes, and I hope that we get many more in the coming years. So anyway, yeah, this video kind of did turn out sort of long, but I hope you stuck around, and just a reminder, me and John are doing our live shows every Tuesday night on Spreecast, and you can find that at live.ncisfanatic.com. We start like an hour before NCIS, which is like 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. So check those out if you want. And yeah, it's great. We just, hang out, talk NCIS, normal stuff. So anyway, feel free to leave a comment and share your Calf Pal rating, any thoughts or questions of the episode. Did you hate it? Did you totally disagree with me? Were these horrible episodes? Let me know in the comments below, and have a great day. Sans is going to be creeping around this video because she's, I guess she's hungry, so she's just going to harass me. So if you hear any crinkling, it's probably her trying to destroy some of my property. So I'll pay her attention. Trick? Wanna do a trick? There you go. Here you go. Wanna say hi? Say hi? Aren't you pretty? Aren't you pretty?